You might have noticed there haven't been a lot of Strange Parts videos in a while. And well, there's a good reason for that. Don't worry, I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm actually really super pumped up for what I'm doing with Strange Parts, and I'm really excited for what's coming in 2019. But I was super burned out at the end of 2018. I'm on a backcountry ski trip with some friends up in Seattle before I head back to China, and I thought I'd take some time out this morning to tell you guys a little bit about what's going on and what's coming up and what I've been working on behind the scenes. So, as I said, this stuff, I love making videos, but it really costs a lot of time and energy. It takes a lot out of me. You kind of got to be in this state where you want to be watched. And I don't always feel that way. And when you don't feel that way, but you need to shoot, you got to pretend. And that could be super exhausting. You might have seen the videos that Casey Neistat and Elle Mills made about their struggles with burnout. And, well, I'm really grateful to them. I think this is a really hard thing to talk about publicly, and their videos have meant a lot to me and made it a little bit easier for me to talk about publicly. I just hit this point where I was really struggling to make videos. And I have a couple that are kind of half finished right now, like this one. I got my handful of batteries, and I got my battery tester. I also got 2 Nohan batteries off of Taobao. And then this is another thing that happened. Oh, this is scary. Okay, this is a terrible idea. Don't worry, I'll be finishing those up when I go back to China. But first, I just needed to take some time off and be human for a little bit. I visited my 95-year-old grandparents in Southern California for Christmas, and we flew my drone. It was his first time seeing one. We spent a lot of time checking his gutters for leaves. And I did a brief and cold road trip back to Colorado with my mom. And then I spent 3 weeks running off the side of a mountain in Mexico until I couldn't lift my arms anymore. Right now, I'm headed back to San Francisco. I've been working a ton behind the scenes in the past few weeks, gearing up for season 2 of Strange Parts. And so I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of the work I've been doing behind the scenes and what challenges I'm facing, what things I'm trying to put in place, and hopefully I'll get this figured out so I can produce a lot more videos and avoid that burnout. My biggest challenge for over a year now has been, how do I produce content on a more regular basis? And to give you some idea, in 2017, I released like 2 or 3 videos. In 2018, I released 24 videos, which is definitely an increase, but it's not quite where I would like it to be. For one, that schedule's been pretty erratic, and 2, it's not as frequent as I would like it to be. So I'd like to be releasing videos, ideally once a week, but I still feel a long way off from that. I know there are a lot of channels that release even a video every day. I have an immense amount of respect for those people. That's an incredible amount of work. But the reality is, for the kind of videos that I make for Strange Parts, it's a ton of work. And if I was, doing tech reviews, sitting in my apartment all day in the same set, I could probably do a video a day if I really hustled. But there are a lot of people out there already doing tech reviews, and I feel like Strange Parts is more than that, is something different. To give you some idea, the iPhone video, the very first video I released, how I made my own iPhone in China, took me about 5 months to make between shooting and editing, and we had over 100 hours of footage. That's not actually even the most footage for the headphone jack video. That was like 250 hours of footage, and that took us 4 months, so it got a little bit better. The reality is, if I want to make a video every week, those numbers don't add up. Now, some of that time was spent editing, and so early last year, I brought in a full-time editor, Kevin, I've been working with for about a year now, and that's meant that I can spend a lot more time shooting, a lot more time doing engineering work, a lot more time finding cool new stuff to show you guys, and a lot less time slaving over an edit. So I'd say that's working. I actually want to do more of it. I'd like to bring in a second editor this year. Probably not something that's going to happen right away, but if you're a professional editor and you'd like to work with me on Strange Parts, I'd love to see some of your work. Please send me some examples to editors@Strange Parts down here. But there's a ton of other things that are taking my time, from, finding camera people and drivers, to getting visas, to doing research, to talking to factories, to, making, selling, and shipping one-of-a-kind merch. All of these things take a ton of time and energy and focus. And, while they're not directly related to making a video, they're still super important. And so I'm realizing I can't do it alone, at least not if I want to keep releasing videos on an aggressive schedule. And there are so many things that we haven't talked about that I'm super excited about. I've decided to try and find someone to take a lot of this off my plate and allow me to focus on the things that I'm really good at. And hopefully to take a bunch of the things off my plate that I'm not so good at. So I've been in SF for the past 2 weeks, meeting with old friends and acquaintances. It's a place I used to live and work, so I've got a lot of network there. And having coffees and lunches and dinners, trying to track down the right person. If you think you might be the right person, or you know somebody who might be, you can find more details here on the link on the screen and down in the description. If you're a relentless extrovert who loves meeting people, loves diving into chaotic situations and creating order from chaos, and is excited to help me build kind of a YouTube production studio, then maybe we should talk. But just for the moment, I need to go back inside and get some breakfast and do some skiing, and then I got more to talk with you guys about. I had to postpone shooting the rest of this video until after the ski trip. There was simply too much going on. So I bet a lot of you are asking, Scotty, how can I help? And firstly, thank you. Simply by watching my videos, you're part of the Strange Parts family. I don't know, strange partners, strange participles. We're gonna have to think up a name. But if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful. Secondly, if you're not a professional editor or an operations guru, but you think there's some way you can help me, send me an email. Tell me where in the world you are and what you think you can help with, and a little bit about yourself. So many of you have already emailed me or messaged me offering to be a local guide or fixer or translator, to very general or specific engineering help, to intros into factories and labs and research facilities and other places that I just wouldn't otherwise have access to. So if you think you have something you could help with, send me an email here, and I'll at least add you to my list of people that can help. I won't necessarily have something for you to help with right away, but I'll keep you in the back of my mind, and when I have something that I think I could use your help with, I'll let you know. I'll be honest and say that sometimes these offers have been a bit humbling and way overwhelming. So if you've emailed me or messaged me offering help and I haven't replied yet, I'm sorry. I'm trying to wade through all my old messages and emails and put together a database of everybody who's offered help and how they can help me so that I can actually find you in the future. Thirdly, a lot of you guys have been asking me about Patreon and other forms of financial support. And, first off, thank you. The reality right now is that Strange Parts is kind of at this point of almost at what I would call ramen profitability in the startup world, which is that I can pay for parts for projects, I can pay for cameras and new equipment, I can pay for flights. I'm not really quite yet paying for my full living expenses. And then I can pay for my editor and the other people that are helping me. I would like to do Patreon, but I don't feel ready yet. So I don't want to do Patreon in a way that's just donations for what I'm already doing. I really want, if you're going to be a patron, I want to be able to give you something cool in return. And I have a lot of ideas that I'm super excited about for that. But as I said before, I am struggling to just make the videos that I'm making and release them on the frequency that I'd like to be releasing them on. And so doing anything more for patrons would just way overstretch me at this point. And I really don't want to get to the point where I feel like I am letting you guys down. You know, I think if I got to the point where I was feeling like that, that would be a lot of extra pressure and would sort of lead to further burnout. And that just doesn't seem like a recipe for success here. So I would like to do Patreon, but I need to wait until I have enough of a team built up such that we can do the cool stuff that I want to offer you guys and really do it in the right way. But boy, when I find the right head of operations, there is so much awesome stuff I want to do. I can't wait. But in the meantime, if you still really want to chip in, I'll put a Bitcoin address below, no strings attached. I'm also a Brave publisher, which means that if you use the Brave browser, you can contribute a little bit every time you watch one of my videos. I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. I think when you sign up, they give you a little bit of Brave bucks, whatever they call them, to give to your favorite creators. So that's another way you could help. Thank you guys for sticking around for my self-induced vacation. I'll be honest and say that at times I felt pretty guilty for taking all this time off and not making videos. But the reality was it was something I really needed to do, and I just needed to take the time to be a human for a little while and recharge the batteries and get excited about this again. My theme for 2018 for Strange Parts was sustainability, and I wouldn't exactly call that a resounding success, but I learned a hell of a lot, and I'm still here, and I'm fired up again and ready to tackle the same theme for this year. I have big plans for Strange Parts, and we're only at the beginning, and I want to be able to do it for a long time to come. I'm Scotty from Strange Parts. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more adventures. I'll see you guys again soon.